Let's get to the root of this problem.
This hole's so hard, I don't know what to do.
You just like said my inner thoughts out loud. Okay, so I hate Eric.
Hi, bud. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Over the weekend, Taco and I got together and headed out to Eagle Disc Golf Course at Olpe Lake. And we had a little audio issues on the first couple of holes. The intro was shot, hole 1, hole 2 was shot, and then we lost a battery later on in the round on hole like 13 or something like that. So I just wanted to hop on here for a quick intro, and I will be doing a voiceover on 1, 2, and 13. But we did head out to Eagle Disc Golf Course over the weekend. Here are the divisions that will be playing Eagle's Disc Golf Course at Olpe Lake for Masters Worlds. It was great to have Taco back on the channel. We're going to work together. We've got a McTaco coming out at some point. We're going to work together on getting the other 3 courses that we have to do. Boyce, West, and Pan. Those are the 3 courses that we do have left. But for now, we are out at Olpe Lake this past weekend. Here is that video. Let's head on over to hole number 1. All right, guys, hole number 1 is 315 feet. It is an island hole. You must land in that mulch, or you can lay up in this green grass that you kind of see in between that and this little bit of a drop off. It's probably about 300 to the front of the green, so you really got to make your decision early off if you're going to go for this hole. A lot of it will depend on what kind of wind you got. That was a fairway driver just out to the right. That wall does act as a nice backstop. Taco got his a little bit too high, and this is going to just barely skip out of bounds. He is going to show you the drop zone here. That is the drop zone up there, so you can save par if you go OB, but it's not a putt you're going to want for the first putt of the day. Hole number 2 is 265 feet downhill. You must get past that road you see in the distance. It's a hanging basket, but we always tether it to the ground so it's not just swaying out here in the Kansas winds. And if you don't get across that road, that was your drop zone up over there on the right side around 40-ish feet. Taco, nice little forehand. Put it up there. I'm just going backhand. I like to throw an overstable mid on this hole and just get it to hyzer in. That was a little bit long, but you guys get the idea. So if you guys are a follower of the channel or me in general, you've heard me talk about this hole. I think I just did a reel about this hole a couple of weeks ago, maybe even last week. But hole number 3, in my opinion, is one of the best holes. Par 4, 480 feet. You could see the basket way down there in the distance. A couple different ways to attack. You can either throw a fairway or a mid kind of down this straight gap, hyzer flip it. Lefties can go forehand, big hyzer down this right side. Depending on what the wind is doing is really what I do on this hole. For me personally, I enjoy throwing like a neutral flying fairway driver down the left side and just try to break off like half to maybe 3/4 of the hole. You don't need to get all the way to the basket by any means. I like getting safe off this tee and then attacking from there. You've got road and beyond on the left. You've got tree line on the right that's OB. Plus you've got a little retaining pond between the basket and the fairway that is also out of bounds. Sit down. Sit down. Yeah, dude, that is perfect.
Just try to take the world champ's advice and throw a fairway. I'm going Mockingbird 7-speed. Oh, get lucky. Oh, it did not. That's OB.
Not quite a jumper like I was thinking. I would probably have a jumper if I didn't have this one tree in the way, but still, I would take this every time I played the hole. Yep, chip, birdie. I just really like, if you come over here and look back down this fairway, it's just such a cool little fairway green. Something about this hole, man. You got woods, you got big mature trees, You've got a gap to hit. You've got OB, challenging, very, very challenging par 4.
Now we move into a little bit different style of shot here on hole 4. There's 2 locations. Everybody's playing actually the shorter location, which turns this hole into a par 3. It's 300 feet. As you can see, it is severely sloped down to the right. Up on top of this pond dam right here, there is some long grass on the left. That edge is going to be out of bounds. And then there is a wire cable connected on the right-hand side from these wooden posts that will also be OB beyond that. There is also going to be some long OB as well. And that's perfectly fine. Yeah, that's great.
All right, as Taco mentioned, this is definitely not a very lefty-friendly hole, but fear not, you have plenty of holes out here.
Three's okay.
You guys think it gets windy out here, or no?
Parkity park, Eric.
Birdie. Hole number 5, we are playing the short tee. As I mentioned, there are a lot of different divisions playing out here, so we didn't want to go too crazy on the long tee, which is like, what is that hole, Taco, like 350 or something like that? And it's 300 water carry. It's pretty challenging hole, especially out here.
Disgusting.
When the wind gets up. So we're going from here. It's only 200 feet. I say only 200 feet. That's not easy, but you've got wide open shots on both sides. Taco's probably going to show you the forehand.
Correct.
I'm going to show you the backhand, and we're just going to get this. You've got all this inbounds over here. The pier itself is, what would you say, about 100 feet wide, give or take? Maybe closer to 60 to 80, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it has to circle 2 on both sides.
Exactly, so it's pretty good size. So you're looking at least 60 feet. Really, this is a hole, out of all the holes we've played so far, this is 100% one that you're gonna want to attack and get that birdie. Woo! Yeah. Come. As you could tell from here how wide this island or peninsula actually is. However, if you do find trouble and you find yourself out of bounds, this is the drop zone right here. I mean, if you go OB, you're probably getting a 4 on this hole, and you really, really cannot afford to take a 4 here. Nice drive, Taco.
Huh. All right, hole 6. Pretty good par 4 here. Obviously, there's a water carry. Most people should be able to get to that side. I don't believe anything's OB in this area except for the water itself. Up here, there is a wire cable. I believe beyond the wire cable, you'll be out of bounds, right? Or no?
That is correct.
Okay, so there's also like there's barbed wire fence. So, but that's, what is that? Man, that's like Circle's Edge.
That's like up by the green.
Yeah, up by the green, Circle's Edge. So like in the approach shots, just know on like the approach, you don't want to like smash it too crazy into there. Yeah.
All right, Taco showed you the safe line. I'm gonna go the dumb line. I like going left here when there's not a whole lot of wind, which there's not a whole lot of wind right now. I like this left to right movement, mainly because there's not a lot of OB out to the left, unless you just get stable. If your just stable's out, then you're done. That is way up there. That is an easy approach. If you have calm winds, the big ante is definitely the line, or lefty hyzer.
You guys can see this like concrete and like dirt road in front of me. There's a pad and then there's like a gravel path. All that is casual. Here's that post. It's gonna take you back straight to that post where the barbed wire fence is, and that's gonna be your OB line over there. Michael Smith put this pallet wall in here because I definitely got to roll back to underneath the baskets.
Birdie.
Birdie.
All right, we are on hole number 7. It is 230 feet. Memorial Day, we got the American flag. We got the pallet wall, American flag. Who said you weren't gonna come to Kansas and play a wooded hole? Well, those of you that are playing Olpe are 100% playing a wooded hole. This is a wooded hole. This is a Kansas wooded hole. OB is left, there's a fence line up here on this left side, and it kind of turns into pond, so where it gets a little straggly down there, that's where the OB line is gonna be. Right side, there's a fence line on the right too. Kind of past this road is where that OB line is gonna be. Couple different ways to play it. You could either go straight at it. There's a little sneaky hyzer line, but in my opinion, this is more of a left to right moving shot. So forehand plays, I like going in front of that big tree that you see down there. Taco's gonna show you that line. You can also go around the back side of it. I'm gonna take this hyzer line and try to get a little sneaky. Okay, I'm about
good
halfway.
off the lot.
About halfway.
Oh my gosh, I loved it until I didn't. Ooh. Did I hit like a squirrel down there?
I think so.
Just popped up.
Chipmunks. Man, it's one of those holes, guys, that if you par, you're probably not losing strokes to the field. So keep that in mind. Hole number 7, playing for par is not a bad play.
Hole 8 is like 800 feet. There's lake to the left. You will have an OB line marked inward from that lake. There's like some long grass where you can kind of see potentially where that's going to be. And that'll just save for time. On the right, there's also some long grass typically that is cut out where you will have OB that stretches down. Now the trees in the middle, that's going to be like a safe area to land in, but it's a natural OB for the hole itself. You go in there, you are hopefully getting up and down for par at best. Very challenging shot. Really the goal is to land right or left of that grouping of trees to be able to throw another power shot in. Hole's fair to both lefties and righties, so I'm going to try a lightweight bayonet out to the right and hopefully not throw it out of bounds. Or out to the left. It's moving left. But that's safe. Good thing about this fairway, not a lot of kicks or skips.
Yes.
Oh my.
If you can get around that grouping of trees,
Holy
it makes the hole a lot easier.
Holy Joe Moly. This right here for me is ideal. I actually threw it past that grouping of trees by about 20 feet. So man, I'm loving that. I think being left side here, if you can be left side, is good because then the OB right, you don't have to mess with as much and you can stay away from this OB on the left. OB long is a real thing though when you get here and you're attacking. I mean, only probably 40 to 50 left and kind of like wrapping around, the lake has an inlet right there. So you definitely want to keep this. I guess the miss would be right side of the grouping of trees up there. If you can get to the grouping of trees, it puts you about circle's edge to just inside the circle. So I'll take it. It's a little short, but about 40 feet.
To me, from here, it is definitely a more favorable left to right moving shot coming into the screen, but I'm gonna go mid right at it. Basically, if you get to those grouping of trees, you've got to putt. So that's a good reference for you when you're out here playing the hole. If you get to those trees, you're putting from there. Wanted to go a little wider. That's a putt though. It's not great, but it's a putt.
Oh, I liked it though. 4 is really good here. Sorry, I said the trees were like 30 feet. They're definitely well inside the circle. Like Eric said, if you're in there, you should be cleaning up easy, so.
Hole number 9, 400 feet, just dead straight down there. Another hole that I believe a left to right moving shot is more favorable. You got OB kind of down this right side where this taller grass is. All of this will be mowed by the event, so don't worry. This tree line on the left is OB all the way down to the green, and past that last dead looking tree, the tree line kind of stops, but there's a little ditch, little creek area, and past that is also out of bounds. It's 400 feet, so if you've got the distance, you can attack. However, playing this shot as a 2-shot hole
is really not a bad play either. I like to get aggressive on this down this right side and just give myself a look for 2. Hook up. There she goes. Yeah, that should be a look. That should be a putt.
Shut up, you're touching the pole, I bet.
Oh, dang. Oh, okay, I like that.
Gosh, dude, that was so perfect. Okay, so.
Queso.
I hate Eric. I'm gonna show you this hole eats my lunch. This is one of those holes where I can throw 400 feet, but I have to throw something perfect. So instead of me trying to like smash something out there perfect and usually getting 4, going left out of bounds or right out of bounds, I'm gonna try to pitch up in the middle and just do an approach and take a 3 on the hole. I think it's a bonus too. That's why I hate Eric. Here we go. And that's kind of fine. I'm safe. I usually land out of bounds on my tee shots. I wanted that a little flatter. It's definitely putting. If I beat that last big tree on the right, that's kind of where you want to miss. Yeah.
Birdie.
Bonus.
It's a bonus. It's a bonus birdie, but if you just want to go chip and take your 3, nothing wrong with that either.
That was your front 9. We're getting into the back. Hole 10, a little bit shorter. It's 250 feet. The only danger here is missing a gap, okay? There is a pretty tough lefty line. It's kind of like a sucker's gap. If you do throw a lefty, there is like a shaping anhyzer shot, or you have a lefty forehand where it works out perfectly. Oh my gosh, I got action off that long grass.
Yeah, just play it into the green, hit a tree, and give yourself a look for birdie.
Great shot. Jammy jam.
Birdie birds. All right, guys, hole number 11 is a par 4, 500 feet. Nothing really OB on the left to worry about. It's the water's edge, but on this right side, there's gonna be like a fairway divider, so to speak, where this tall grass is. I know it all looks tall right now because it is all tall right now, but keep in mind, we're still a couple weeks out, and this is like a one-man operation out here. Mike Smith is the man. He's the guy that's out here doing all this maintenance and course work. These trees right here are gonna get shaved. They're gonna get manscaped eventually right here. So all that'll be cleaned up. Really, if you got 300 feet, just try to get 300 feet off this tee. It would knock off quite a big chunk of this hole. It's not really a blind shot into the green from your second shot, but the basket is basically straight off this tee. It used to be to the left out one of the peninsulas, but they have moved that and put it closer to hole 12's tee. So for me, you can either go big hyzer, just make sure you go tight because of where that OB line will be. I personally think the shot is either left to right mover through this gap or through the straight gap, which is what I am going to do. Yeah, that's more than 300 feet down the fairway, but if you hit the gap, go straight, golden.
I'm gonna try a forehand and just trying to do a position play here. Obviously, Eric's showing you how to shoot the best possible line on the hole that there is. I'm gonna try to hit something here for like about a 250 to 300 foot shot forehand through this gap, missing this one tree. So let's see. All right. That's my pitch up play. We'll see. And that's just fine. 2 in the middle.
Left myself a nice easy approach. You don't want to carry too far past. The tree you can kind of see on the left. If you land about that far, you're going to be just fine. But anything past it brings that lake into play behind. So yeah, beautiful. Nice little ground play.
Nice
there
putt.
We go.
Nice putt.
It's, like I said, it's not a must get birdie, but when it's all cleaned up, it's very attackable.
If there was a second or third potentially signature hole on this course, I would say this par 5 is one of them. lefty, righty, forehand, backhand, thumbers, it doesn't matter. Whatever you can do to get up to the crest of that hill, the best of your ability. If you're not there, no big deal. I think most people are going to end up having to pitch up to the second landing zone anyways, and then throw their third shot across. If you can't get off the tee, it's okay to take a 5 here, because you have to do a water carry on later on in the shot. So. Right there on the top of the hill. Probably still gonna have to pitch up though.
Okay, I crested the hill, which is a good thing for the Eagle. Look.
All right, so for me, I throw probably around 400 feet, and this is probably like that drive. I'm looking at the basket, it's right there. It's probably another 400 plus, obviously, if this hole's around 900 feet, to get me there, or at least to carry the water. So even though there's a tailwind, ideal conditions, and I could probably smash there, I'm just gonna lay up to this little landing zone. And I think for the landing zone, you wanna keep yourself down towards where the basket is, but finishing right. So I'm gonna throw a forehand up there. This shot doesn't matter as long as I get about 200 to 300 feet. I should be able to approach for hopefully an easy 4, if not a 5. And that's just fine. I could do probably another one of those and be up there putting.
This is a tough water carry. I don't know how far we are because we're old and we don't have Bushnells or rangefinders. If you guys want to send us one, that'd be awesome. We'll use it. I'm a long ways. I'm a long ways. That tree you see on the green, the tall tree down there is what, about pin high? Mm-hmm. That's a good reference point for you. From here in a tournament, in these conditions, I'm going for this green all day long. So, Taco showed you how to lay up. I'll show you how to go for it. Oh my goodness. That was so close.
Ring it up. Oh, never had a chance.
Good birdie.
Yeah.
Okay guys, I am back. Sorry the audio is going to be terrible for this next hole, much like it was on hole 1 and 2, but that's the Eagle there on hole number 12. Pretty stoked with that. Taco got the birdie. Birdies are good on this hole, as we mentioned. Hole 13 is 260 feet, and it is probably the hardest 260-foot hole. Tons of OB up by the basket. How I attack this hole is I don't attack this hole. I usually will play something relatively straight that doesn't have a whole lot of fade to it, and just kind of pitch up. If I'm in the circle or if I'm feeling the putt, I'll go for it. But there is no shame at all in laying up your putt for par on this hole. If you look at this shot, well, Taco didn't execute there, although he will with his driver here. But hole 13, one of those holes that not a bad idea to play for par, to be honest with you. So,
all right, welcome back. Sorry about the audio issue on the last hole. Still some good stuff there. It's basically pitch it up and do your thing, right? So hole 14, definitely a tough, challenging hole to par. There's going to be OB on this left-hand side that kind of works its way up, and then as you can see in front of me, there is some long grass, and there's going to be like a painted line kind of up in that long grass, and it kind of works its way up and around. It actually is like a bottleneck from this right side as well, where you have the barbed wire fence. It kind of bottlenecks, but most people's second or third shots will be going over that area on either side to play up by the basket. That needs to hook up. Oh my gosh, I went so far. Oh, I never had a chance to hit the fence, dude. I'm a noodle arm. What am I talking about?
Being in bounds off the tee is more important than distance here. Yep.
That's in bounds.
That is in bounds.
Might be deep. Not too bad.
Or
Yeah,
parked.
30.
Yep. Did I go too far?
Go in. Oh my gosh.
Don't go long on this, you will find the drink.
Sweet.
Hole number 15, we're playing the short tee, 354 feet. There it is, right up there. The truck you can see is actually OB. He's parked out of bounds. It is a campsite up there, so it's Memorial Weekend. What can you say? OB down the right side, that fence, which is quite a ways over there, shouldn't come into play. There is a little OB sliver that kind of comes up kind of on that right side, about pin high to the right there, that comes over to that last pylon and then shoots across. This is kind of like an island green. It's not necessarily a true island, but the OB is defined by a paint line, but there's railroad ties around it as well. Water on the left. I threw it high enough. And short enough.
This is one of the hardest holes on the course, and it got easier because the tree that's cut right there used to be definitely in play, but now you still have this shot where you need to basically fit through this gap over here to this side. I think a 4 on this hole is super good, just because beyond that dirt to that cart path, that wire is OB. Obviously the lake to our left and beyond is OB, and the green is kind of like sloping right to left, so it's definitely a hard hole to approach. So I'm just going to try to take this this Warbird and put it on hyzer and hopefully just finish and try to get a second shot. So let's see. Ew.
Yeah, this is not an easy one, as Taco mentioned.
Eric's going Depeche Mode though.
I'm gonna try to give it a little more height than Taco did. It is a left to right, so it should slam it down. Kind of a left to right headwind, we'll see. That is so good. It's not a 4, it's a 3, Taco, come on now.
Just gonna try to keep my disc away from the water, but also at the same time low enough to stay away from the fence line. So let's see it. That's too high. I gotta get lucky. Oh, that's unlucky. I might have got lucky though. I'd like a straight skip.
All right, this is pretty ideal. Like, I usually don't land here on a nice day, so it's nice to land here on a windy day. But as Taco mentioned, a 4 is 100% in play here. Nothing wrong with playing this hole for 4. Ooh. Or 3. Birdie. Hole number 17, 500 feet, par 4. We're playing from this tee. It's probably a couple 100-foot water carry, no big deal. Majority of the time, I feel like it's kind of a left to right wind on this hole, which is what it is today, kind of a tail left to right. You can see the road up there on the right. The OB line is past the road. It's much like the previous hole. It's the wire where the tall grass is where the OB line is. Left side is water's edge. It is a par 4 because the tree line that you see in the middle acts as a wall. So if you're behind that tree line, it makes that putt almost impossible. The miss is left. You really want to be down to that left side or up on that right side by the road so you have an open look for a potential eagle, because if you have a big arm, this is eagleable. There's also no shame in playing for a party. That's birdie. That's birdie territory. There's no eagle from there more than likely. I probably have a jumper, but it's a good shot. birdie on this hole is really all you're needing.
That's how you lay it up.
That's how you play for birdie. Also how you play for birdie.
Even though it is eagleable, birdie's probably just an easy thing to pick up. It's a pretty soft par 4. All right, hole 18. This is new for me. I have not played this position before. This is the short to short. Typically the basket's on this island, elevated. It looks like this one's here just for like flow and ease of like access to get to it, because the walk around from that tee pad to there is a little bit. So I like the change here, especially for Worlds. Still a tough shot, carrying water the whole way. I believe there is a drop zone.
There is a drop zone. It's right by that. It's right there.
Are we allowed to? So that drop zone is a thing for.
See it to the right? Yeah, that's
okay.
The drop zone. It's like a 40 to 60 foot putt across the water.
Okay, yeah, fairly short shot if that happens. I'm going Copperhead.
You don't want to fly this pin either, because you will find the water long. Yeah, just do that. Ain't no thing. There you go, guys. Olpe Lake, what is it? Eagle Disc Golf Course at Olpe Lake. Thank you so much, Taco, for coming out and helping me out with this. The first 3 courses were a challenge. So now that I got Taco back, he's gonna help me out with these other 3 courses that we've got to do. We've still got Boyce Baumgartner over in Cottonwood Falls. We got Peter Pan and we got Jones West. Those courses are all coming, but for now, here are the divisions that are playing out here at Olpe Lake. I'm very excited about Worlds being here. I know Taco's excited as well. We've got doubles coming up too on Jones East. Taco, are you excited for that?
Oh my gosh, dude, I love doubles.
Oh, it's gonna be a blast. One thing, it is a little straggly out here right now, but that's why we're out here early, so we can also take some notes and let Mike know, or give Mike a hand if he needs it, on making sure these courses are pristine for the event. We have a McTaco podcast coming up. We have a pretty cool idea for that one. So make sure you guys are liked and subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of our content. And Taco, any parting words?
Dude, so glad to be back. This is definitely something that you got to remember to do. Come out, hang out with a homie, and just enjoy the day.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you on the next one.